Most people fall into the negative things that they've done in their life when they have come across super hard times. And what a lot of people don't realize is that success is hard.
What tips would you have to someone who's in the trades and struggling?
If you have all the finances necessary to really have a good time, like, you can find rock bottom pretty quick.
A couple months ago, we published a courtroom video clip with the arguments between 33 Carpenters and State Farm. Today, I have a privilege to sit with Austin Nelson, representing 33 Carpenters. Austin, thank you so much for flying to our office, taking time and share your story. First, tell me about yourself. How long you have been in contracting business?
We started 33 Carpenters in January of 2007. First myself, and then my wife joined the company later.
So, two owners, family business.
Family business.
What do you specialize in? Storm damage or some retail?
Yeah, 99+% of what we do is storm damage.
So working with insurance companies?
Working with customers who have claims that are being paid by their insurance company to repair the damages after hail and windstorms.
Why did you pick this niche? You like headaches? You like argue?
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't pick the niche. I learned how to roof houses in Mississippi, in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and the surrounding area after Hurricane Katrina. I learned from a man that was from Traverse City, Michigan. He came into this mission environment that I was in, and we started a roofing division. I learned how to roof there. I moved back home to Iowa following that, and originally just needed to make money to feed our family. And so we started a company called 33 Carpenters Construction.
How did you come up with that name?
Well, I came up with that name because like many in our industry, I have a colorful past. And so I went to Mississippi, really a pretty broken guy, had some vices that owned me, and I went there broken. I got complete healing and deliverance when I was there through a church. And so 33 Carpenters, 33, most people believe that Jesus was 33 when he died. And I wanted to have the opportunity to tell my story if people asked. I didn't want to advertise, this is who I am, but I certainly wanted to be able to give credit where credit was due. Having been a person that struggled for a long time, I had tried a lot of different things to get right. And, that relationship was what really ultimately did it. And being in an environment in Mississippi after the storm, the world would say the stars aligned, but the timing was right for God to do a powerful work in my life, and he did. And so we named our company 33 Carpenters. When I came back to Iowa, I didn't know that I was going to be a roofing contractor. I knew that I had some construction skills, and I had some stability that comes with sobriety and clean living. And so I wanted to have a broad name that allowed me the opportunity to do that, but also, people wouldn't say, oh, we need this deck built, but you're a roofing company, or we need this roof done, but you're a deck company. And so it was broad. It checked a lot of the boxes that I wanted to check, like I just talked about. And I had no idea what the future would hold.
I didn't know we're gonna be talking about that because I didn't know your story outside of State Farm. But I know a lot of people who watch this channel, they're depressed. It's a big problem in the industry. We have two guys who we lost, who died from overdose, one in Canada, one in Chicago within the last 30 days. It's very disturbing to me. I would like you to elaborate a little bit more, if you can, on what led you and what tips, which led you to change your ways, and what tips would you have to someone who's in the trades and struggling? I see so many guys, all they do just they work hard, but there's no balance. And give some tips to guys who are struggling right now.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I'm not perfect. I was delivered, but the Bible says, a pig returns to his slop and a dog returns to his vomit. And certainly that's been my story as well. I'm currently doing very well. But, first of all, if you, nobody's happy when they're miserable. Nobody is, when they're unhealthy, when they, when things get the toughest, you typically resort back to the things that either A, brought you comfort. Hopefully that's your faith, your relationships, you're working out. We talked about CrossFit this morning. Hopefully you can fall back on those things, right? Or make them a regular practice. But most people fall into the negative things that they've done in their life when they have come across super hard times. And what a lot of people don't realize is that success is hard. Like you can be living on cloud nine and be getting sick from winning so much, and you can get ill with all of the victory that you have. And you have to, I think that being humble and remembering to show humility, you have to be aware of it, and I think that oftentimes we don't become aware of things until we're in the midst of a problem. And it was little things that happened that got you to that point. And there was lots of opportunities to take a different course or make a little change or not go out with the team or not go out with whomever. And it, a lot of times it starts with good fun. But we can't all go out and have a drink or two. A lot of us need to have 15 or 20. And maybe today it's a drink or two and it doesn't happen again for a week, but ultimately, you don't stay focused on all of the things that you have to do. And so you lose one or two of them, and before you know it, you're a mess, you're in a tailspin. And once you go back to that, some of the programs I've been a part of, they say that for an alcoholic, you always go back to the place where you left off. Well, the place where you left off, if you ever quit, was a bad one. It was a really bad one, and it doesn't take very long to get there. And so, tips. I'm not very good on tips.
So it's a slow fade.
It can be, or it can be the rock bottom can be a place that you dive into. It can be a slow transgression, or it can be a quick. I would say this: it probably happens faster the second time or third time around if you're coming from a place of success, because the barriers for entry to rock bottom oftentimes are financial. If you have all the finances necessary to really have a good time, like, you can find rock bottom pretty quick. Oh. And it is, you need to prepare for success, and you need to never forget your failures and your rock bottom and the hard places you've been. All of that stuff makes the success great. It makes it awesome. And who gives that away? Well, a pig or a dog. A pig returns to his slop and a dog returns to his vomit. And I'm reading a book that a coworker gave me called The Slight Edge. And the guy talks about just doing things daily, establishing good habits. And we all make these plots and plans and what we're going to do when we have a project in front of us, and how we're going to continue to do better and these new things. I've learned a few things about you since I've been here for 15 minutes, and I say that we have that in common. And a lot of people that do what we do, we all have that in common. We've got these things that we're working on, and I think that I have a lot to say about it. I don't have very many tips or advice. I can tell you lots of different ways that it's looked for me, and it's been more than once, back and forth. And if it's a part of your program, if it's a part of your plan, if it's something that you're going to do, then it's something that you're working on. But when it loses its priority, its place of priority in your life, then that falls apart. And there's a lot of destruction, right? There's a lot of pain that is caused by the things that you do when you do those things. And in the cases you're talking about, maybe it ends in death. Maybe it ends in incarceration. Maybe it's the worst. Maybe it's a slow.
Or maybe family. A lot of guys lose their family and kids.
Right.
What's the famous golfer? What's his name? He originally got in an accident.
Tiger?
Yeah, Tiger Woods. I was reading recently his story, and when he followed his story came out, like what he was doing, over the years, people were, he came out and he said, like, I thought I could have fun because I work hard. And when you have a lot of money, you can do those things. You can hide a lot of things. You can be very creative. And I think we're entrepreneurs, and if we want to have fun, we will figure out a way how to have fun in the most creative way and how to hide it too. Very sad, but very true. Thank you so much for sharing.